Hi boys and girls, this is Mrs. Boynton, and today you're going to be doing an activity on opinion writing. I found these cool books and they were written by kids. They have a bunch of different pieces in them about things kids have opinions on, and kids wrote these and they got their work put in a book. And one thing I'm wondering is their work as good as ours? Are they meeting our standards for opinion writing? So we're going to look at some of their writing, see what we think. When you do this activity, you're going to need this rainbow colored sheet that shows the things we've been learning about opinion writing. You're going to need a rainbow set of something, colored pencils, crayons, pens. You need red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and pink. And you're going to need a piece of writing. This is my piece of writing, but you're going to get a different one from the teacher. Let's look at this sheet you're going to have. It has all those colors of the rainbow, plus black, which you can make that color just with your regular pencil. We're going to be underlining things in the writing to see if the writing that these other kids wrote have the things we've been striving to have. So, in black, we're going to underline if they have a brave and bold thesis statement that states their opinion. If they have that, we're going to underline it in black. If they have a reason number 1, we're going to underline that in red. Now, if they support reason 1 and make it stronger by explaining it, giving evidence, giving an example, if they make reason 1 stronger, we're going to underline that in orange. Then, if they have a second reason to support their opinion, we're going to underline that in yellow. So reason 2 is yellow. Now, if they support reason 2, we're going to underline that in green if they give reason 2 some extra support to make it stronger. Now, if they have a third reason, we're going to underline that in blue. And then if they support that reason and give extra evidence or extra explaining to make it stronger, we're going to underline it in purple. Then pink is for something amazing. If they talk to the audience, if they speak to the audience's concerns, like we've been learning to do, they get a pink underline. I don't know if anybody's going to get that. That's pretty hard. But we have learned how to do it. All right, well, let's look at the writing. This is a letter some girls wrote to their principal with an opinion, just like we did. So I'm going to read the whole thing before I start underlining. Here's what it says. Dear Principal Cohen, we want to have a class pet. Here are some reasons why we want this. Our first reason is that children can have company when they are lonely, and if children don't have any friends, they can play with the pet. Don't be concerned. Children will not tamper with it. Our second reason is that kids can read to it and get more fluent in reading if they are having trouble. Our last reason is that if you have a pet at home, you can teach the class how to be an extraordinary and responsible pet caretaker. That is why we want a class pet. Regards, Madeline and Sahana. Okay, so black is brave and bold thesis statement. Now with your regular pencil, with my regular pencil, I'm going to do this. With your regular pencil, you'll do this. If they have a brave and bold thesis statement, we're going to underline it in black. Let's see if they do. Usually, brave and bold thesis statements are at the beginning. So let's look at the beginning. We want to have a class pet. Here are some reasons why we want this. Oh, I think I see it. I think I see their opinion. We want to have a class pet. That's their thesis. That's their opinion. We deserve a class pet and we want it. Okay, so far so good. Let's move on to the next color. Okay, I'm getting out my red for reason 1. Let's see if they have a reason why they want a class pet. Here are some reasons why we want this. Okay, that's not really a reason. Our first reason is that children can have company when they are lonely. Oh, there's a reason. And it even says right there, first reason. Children, I'm going to underline it in red, children can have company when they are lonely. And if children don't have any friends, they can play with the pet. All right, so a cure for loneliness is one reason. Okay, in orange, it says support for reason 1. Okay, something that makes it stronger, explaining it, giving evidence, or an example. All right, let's see if they made it any stronger about loneliness, the loneliness argument. Let's check. I got my orange pen. Don't be concerned. Children will not tamper with it. Okay. So does that convince me that loneliness will no longer be a problem? No, that isn't really about loneliness. That's about children tampering with it. So that's not really support for reason 1. It was about loneliness, and this is about messing with the pet. So that's too bad. And that's the end of that paragraph. So I'm guessing they're not going to be any more support for reason 1. But I do see something really cool. That was a neat sentence. It said, don't be concerned. Children will not tamper with it. That's actually really excellent because this reader is doing what we see in pink. Do you remember what pink was? Right there. Amazing. They spoke to the audience. Don't be concerned, they said. That's great to speak to the audience. Maybe the principal was concerned about the pet being tampered with. So I can underline that in pink. Uh-oh, that didn't work. Oh, there we go. All right, so we did speak to the audience, but we didn't really give further explaining about loneliness being a problem or how a pet could help with loneliness. All right, now we're moving on to the next color on the sheet. Let's see what it is. Okay, reason 2. Do they have a second reason? The first reason they wanted a pet was loneliness. Let's see if they have a second reason. Our second reason, this must be their second reason. Our second reason is that kids can read to it and get more fluent in reading if they are having trouble. So the second reason is that kids can read to it. They have this and here. So is that the same reason or is that a support? It's hard to tell because it's only one sentence. So kids can read to it, that's their reason. Now right here, if reason 2 is supported, we're supposed to underline it in green. I'm a little confused if this is supported or not. Let's look at it. It says, and get more fluent in reading if they are having trouble. Well, that's kind of support. Kids can read to it, and then they could get more fluent in reading. Now, I would like this to be 2 separate sentences because one of the sentences is a reason, and the other one is support. So it seems like they should be in separate sentences. Plus, then that paragraph would have 2 sentences instead of 1. And we all know paragraphs don't just have 1 sentence. So they did okay there, but I think they could do better. Because even if they did put that period in, they'd still only have 1 sentence. All right, let's look at the chart. What's next after green? Oh, yeah. All right, next color is blue. Blue is reason 3. Do they have a third reason? Let's check it out. One last reason is that if you have a pet at home, you can teach the class how to be an extraordinary and responsible pet caretaker. All right, well, they're telling us it's the last reason. I love that. What a nice transition. What's the last reason? If you have a pet at home, you can teach the class how to be an extraordinary and responsible pet caretaker. That is why we want a class pet. Okay, so their last reason is that people can teach each other about taking care of pets. And our last color is purple. Support for reason 3, making it stronger. All right, let's take a look and see what they do. That is why we want a class pet. This paragraph doesn't really have any extra information about teaching others. It just says that's why we want a class pet. So I'm afraid no purple can go on here. So let's see how they did with the rainbow. They got red, no orange. They got yellow and green, but only in 1 sentence. That paragraph was pretty short. And they got blue, but no purple. I see some places where this person could make some improvements. Their paragraphs are very short, not even 3 sentences long ever. And they don't have all the colors of the rainbow. But I am pretty happy that they got pink. That was a pretty advanced skill. All right, now you're going to try this with a different piece of writing that was written by kids. And with your own checklist that I'll have handed out to you. And good luck trying to find a really well-written opinion piece.